I have a lot to say about this movie. Just a precursor.
Do you?
I do.
I'm actually surprised.
Hey, it's your guy Ren. Welcome to Cinema Slime, the podcast for film lovers who can't stop talking about the movies that move us, confuse us, or just make us want to yell at the screen. I'm joined, as always, by my brilliant co-hosts Harrison and Scott. Let's go.
Hey, yeah, I was thinking of a movie-themed icebreaker or something we could talk about, but me and Scott have talked about this a little bit, but I was kind of fascinated with the idea of how many other people have, like, movie traditions, like on certain holidays that come up. And one thing that we talked about was The Sandlot on 4th of July.
Yeah,
Did you watch it this year?
I did.
Nice. Such a
I
good
should
movie.
do that.
dude.
I should do
Dude,
that one
that
on 4th of
the
July. That's a
fireworks
great one.
scene is so awesome. On 4th of July, especially.
We watched The Sandlot and National Treasure on
Oh,
4th of July
nice.
because, the Declaration of Independence.
Man. What about Christmas movies? Our Christmas movie is Arthur Christmas. That's the one that we always watch every year.
We don't have specific day Christmas movie that we watch, but we do. Like, we can't watch Nightmare Before Christmas until Halloween, and then it plays on loop until Christmas, and then it doesn't play
Yep.
the rest of the year.
Yeah, you gotta have boundaries with that.
We watched
Can't
the original Grinch cartoon, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Let's see. There's a good handful. Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas, which was made here in Portland, actually, has the California raisins in it. Pretty good.
Nice.
So that's from the early 90s.
You just reminded me, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio was made here in Oregon. That's another Oregon film.
Yeah, freak. You want good claymation movies, there's that studio here that Cannon's just super into. I never
Yeah.
remember the name of it, but they did Kubo and the Five Strings,
Mm,
the new Pinocchio, stuff like that.
that's cool. Another tradition I have is 2 days before Thanksgiving, we watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I think I've mentioned that previously on a podcast, but that movie is like the funniest movie.
Paige had a good movie category. We finally articulated it. It's movies that are so painful they're funny.
There you
Okay.
go.
Not so funny it hurts, but it's not like so bad that you don't think it's funny. It's like it's just genuinely really bad, and therefore it's funny.
Okay, so give me an example. Did you guys make like a mock list?
So a lot of the Mystery Science Theater 3000 movies are like that. Like old The Creeping Terror, which is just so dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles can be like that, depending on how much you actually like the movie.
I love that movie.
Rat Race, Monos, The Hands of Fate.
I mean, honestly, like I would put Twilight in that category. Like, if it's a movie you can watch and you are constantly saying, "What are they doing? That's so stupid!" Like that goes into that category for me.
Oh, Wizard's Dear Reader. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Scott! Don't put that out into the universe.
It is on my list as soon as I find a good category for it.
I've
we'll
never
find
heard
a
of
way.
it. So excited. I was gonna say one thing I love looking for in movies is when a movie is like secretly a Christmas movie. So secretly,
Die Hard,
yeah.
the most well-known secret Christmas movie.
Prometheus is a Christmas movie. Remember, he has the Christmas tree for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Um,
Oh my gosh, you got me.
There was another. Oh, Eyes Wide Shut. Just like not blatant Christmas movies, but when it's in the background, I kind of love looking for that stuff.
That's a fun little Easter egg hunt to
I love that.
do.
Yeah, like it doesn't need to be too Christmassy. Oh, to answer your question though, about Christmas films, It's a Wonderful Life. I watch, if not every year, every other year, like 100%.
I mean, just if you want to cry.
Yeah, like if you want to just sob like a baby and like have a like
Oh,
Existential crisis.
Yeah,
you know,
the movie is amazing. Dude,
That
wait,
movie-
if I ask you a question, how old were you when that movie first blew your mind?
oh,
You probably saw it from the beginning.
wait, it
of
blew
time.
my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I was married
Yep, I did.
and
I
I was dirt poor, and
did. Look at my eyes. I'm tearing up.
yeah,
Thinking
I
about
was
this
dirt
movie.
poor, and
Oh my god.
we might have been living with your mom and dad, so we would have been pretty newly married, like
Yeah.
2 or 3 years, or sometime within the first 2 years being married or whatever. And life was just really hard, and it was like all the questioning, like what am I going to do with my life? And so I was really young when I got married, and just so insecure about life, you know.
Yeah.
And that movie came on, or I watched it on Christmas Eve, and I just sobbed
Dude.
the whole time. And I was like, I get it. I get George. I get George.
That
feeling,
movie
you know?
ain't shit when you're a kid. And then when you're an adult, like that movie like kicks you in the butt. It's insane.
No, honestly, the first time I remember the first time I watched it, it hit me. I think It's a Wonderful Life was one of the first movies I watched, and it really hit me. And it was I was in my teens. I was probably 15, 16, and I was one of those kids where I was like 15. I was like stressing about which college I was going to go to and what my whole life was going to be about.
The worst period of life.
And I look back and I'm like, Harrison, you're such an idiot, you know, just guilt tripping myself over so much crap because I was, no, that's what it was. I was dating a girl named Lindsay in high school, and she was like that as well. And so it made me panic and freak out about it. I remember, but yeah, I remember watching It's a Wonderful Life when I was 15, 16, 17, something like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, my whole life is, oh, you know, I will say, I don't think I've watched It's a Wonderful Life in a couple years. I probably need to do it and just, really,
The form of therapy. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much just a little mini therapy session during the holiday times.
I sort of love that movie, kind of the history of it is like it bombed. Like it didn't do well and it kind of got rediscovered like I think like 20 or 30 years, I could be wrong, 20, 30 years later after it was released. That's kind of amazing. Just like how
Clarence.
just how could you like see that movie and be like, it was all right. Especially back then. Like
Well,
that's crazy.
Because the moonbeams shooting out of your fingertips.
I'm kind of curious what causes movies to kind of bomb in the box office, and like how does it have a resurgence later in life? Like I know like music can do that when, like, for example, I know there was it was in Stranger Things, there was a whole song Running Up That Hill, all that. Like that was a huge resurgence because it was in a popular TV show. But when it comes to movies, I wonder what causes them to have resurgences and to have become like a cult following type of a movie. Like what
Yeah.
leads to that?
I think there's different types though. Like I think It's a Wonderful Life was a result of it being aired on TV and people just like caught onto it. And then you also hear of other movies that like bombed, but then like they sold, like everyone had a copy of it on DVD. But yeah, just re-releasing in different formats. But then there's probably other movies where like maybe something in history happens or an event happens and people are like, hey, remember that movie? It talked about this. Like what's that movie? Is it called Outbreak? Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
the one with the
monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that got like a lot of it kind of got re-talked about or brought up again online and stuff because this was spot on.
I mean, there's probably not an easy, clean answer to that question, but I think my take would be that there's just really narrow channels for releasing stuff, and people have limited bandwidth. And the channels for releasing things were a lot smaller back then, so it's like a few movies did really well, and then when you can pick up anything later, things have a chance to be carried on their own merit. Even today, it's almost like the exact opposite problem. When there's so much accessibility, you don't even know when things release whether they're good or not. And so it's one of the reasons why I use time as a recommender. Like,
yeah,
I want to know what makes it through the filter of time and people's collective consciousness to surface and be worth watching.
Or you hear a lot about a movie and then it kind of just, it's like a fart in the wind. It's gone. You don't hear anything about it. No one brings it up. Like, oh yeah, I remember when that came out. I haven't heard anything about it since. And
when that movie is like a plastic bag.
Yeah.
I thought our whole goal was to never bring up the plastic bag scene from American Beauty. Like, we made it so far. Or people can listen to amazing podcasts like this and get recommendations for great movies, like your Europa Report. Actually, okay. So Scott, you brought up a fear I used to have for a long time. I had this long stretch of my life where I was basically, when I come across something that I really like, I usually get really, really into it. And I like reread the same book 15 times because I love it so much. And I had this fear that I didn't really like process in my head. I was like, I'm scared that I'm going to miss these movies or these books or these songs that could be the next like big thing in my life or the next thing to obsess over. So I was always stressing about like, oh man, I got to make sure I have like, an Excel spreadsheet of every video game that came out this year, because if I, what if I miss it? I'm over that now and I'm a better human being because I went to therapy, but I definitely had a fear of missing out. thing going on for a number of years of my life, because I watched Europa Report, and it's still up there in my top like 10 favorite movies I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't have a moment of like, oh my gosh, I could have saw that back in 2013. But it's just like, it was nice to watch it. Be like, that was one of the best movies I've ever watched, and it's okay that I didn't see it until just now.
Why didn't I watch They Live before I was born?
Exactly. My whole world could have been changed. And yes, Ren, by the way, I do think about that movie at least every other day now. Because, man, there's some ads out there that really.
Yeah, I saw one the other day that was unforgivable. Basically, everyone had alien faces on. It was nuts.
We do need to get to the movie, but I will say this: the one thing that you mentioned, Ren, that really stuck with me was the whole insurance commercials. I would literally like, because me and Nicole are going through a CSI phase right now. We're watching the original CSI TV show, and every commercial on Hulu is an insurance commercial, and it's like you got Flow with Progressive, you got the Emu from Liberty Mutual, you got Don't Grow Up to Be Your Parents from whatever that other insurance company is. I was like, wow. Ren's right. This is all just like, this has nothing to do with insurance. They're just trying to make me laugh and remember it. And unfortunately, it's working, because even my son will be like walking through the house and he'll go, Liberty, Liberty, Liberty,
Oh,
Liberty.
no.
I'm just like, no, my son he's gone.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a sad reality.
Sickness. It's spreading.
Hey, as long as you're aware, awareness is the first step.
It's all that matters.
Yeah.
As long as I know I'm being corrupted, everything's okay.
No. Step 2 is abstinence.
Yeah.
There you go.
But awareness, well, you'll pick up that phone, be like, I need a quote. Let's check with. I can't check with Liberty.
or else it worked.
I literally can't check Liberty. They probably have the best rate. I just can't do it.
On principle alone, I can't do it. I will not admit that your commercial worked.
Is Geico actually a for real insurance? Their mascot's a gecko.
I don't know.
How they get you?
Well, it's funny. Right. I feel like, man, we really got to get into it. But like, I feel like Geico was like the first to do a commercial like that, where it's like, we have a funny little character. I was like, yeah, you're right. Damn it!
Just like, wait, a funny insurance company? What? Wait, why a duck? And then
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I remember being like in school and kids would like yell at each other in the cafeteria. It's so stupid.
It is. Okay, have either of you guys played Warcraft 3 before?
Yes, my lord.
Okay, that guy on the screen right now, doesn't he look like the priest who goes and talks to the ogres and all them? Like,
yes,
that's literally the first thing I thought of. And then
his floppy jaw and everything.
That's so funny. I want to Google image who I thought he looked like. Okay, I want to show you who I thought he looked like. You tell me if I'm right, because I know I'm right.
Oh my gosh, son of a bitch! I knew it was in my head. It was somewhere in my head. Oh my god.
Yesnid the magician.
Oh my gosh, Ren. You just blew my mind, because I literally was looking at his face and I was like, okay, he does look like the priest from Warcraft 3, but there's someone else. There's someone else he looks exactly like.
That was the first thing I thought of. Yeah, I was like, I kind of don't want to bring it up. It's like the second Fantasia reference I've made.
That was going to go on my list for music, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's a good one, honestly.
Watch the early life dinosaur one.
We have to do a watch along.
That could be fun.
Dude, that movie introduced a lot of kids to like classical music.
Oh yeah.
If I ever hear, especially that dinosaur segment, if I hear that song, I immediately like think of like a Stegosaurus with his tongue hanging out.
No, yeah, was it? Yeah, the dinosaur one, the demon on top of the mountain. That one is like, oh
yeah, that's sick.
that one makes that one sends up a chill up my spine every time.
Shout out for that being in Kingdom Hearts. That was such a good idea. As a boss.
And then there's the ballerina hippos and what is it? What are they? Ostriches, I think. That's a good one.
With a cameo in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh my god.
That's true.
Oh man, I'm going down memory lane.
Your father helped me like that too.
In the 23rd century, a flying cab driver named Korben Dallas accidentally picks up a half-naked superweapon named Leeloo, who turns out to be the key to saving the universe. An ancient evil blob is heading to Earth, and the only way to stop it is by finding 4 elemental stones and believing in love really hard. Along the way, they dodge explosions, aliens, and a villain with a clear half-helmet and southern accent. A future pop star icon screams through space in leopard print. Leeloo kicks everyone in the face right before love literally explodes out of Leeloo and vaporizes evil. 1997's The Fifth Element.
Leeloo Multipass.
This movie is so good.
All
Scott,
right, whose film was
I
this?
think it was Scott. So it's secretly mine because it definitely was on my list, and then Scott sniped it for me. But it originally was on Scott. So we'll ask Scott you why did you put this on this list?
This one was mine. So
Yeah, it was yours.
Oh man, I love this movie. I mean, it's hard not to just smile through this movie. It's I think it's funny. You use the words unhinged for RoboCop, and I would say similar for this movie. It's just this movie is bizarre, and I was talking to my wife and to your mom before I came over to record this, and I was like, it's like the movie doesn't take itself seriously, but everyone plays it straight. No one plays like their meta character, like is so common in like Marvel comedy and stuff like that right now. Nothing's meta about this. It's like everyone's in world. The world's just batshit crazy. And I love it. Like it's so funny. I've got a lot to say about the style of this movie. Usually I bring up all of the themes and the philosophy and stuff like that. Like none of
Not
that's in
much
this
there.
movie.
It's a great message.
That's great. But as like freak, this is just such a pretty and fun movie.
Well, I think part of the reason of that, this movie is completely different than the past 3 movies we've done. And I think part of the reason is like if you think about Prometheus, Alien, and Europa Report, they're all about like discovering something. This is humans going into space and discovering something new or coming across a monster that's going to kill them. This is the first movie we watched that's like, oh no, this is like an already established future. There's culture, there's aliens amongst people, like everything's kind of set up. This really isn't a story about discovering what's in space. It's like, what would it be like if we were involved with all these other planets and involving aliens and things like that? And it's very big departure from what we've watched previously, but I'm very happy because I feel like we kind of needed it to be, if I'm being straight.
Yeah, it's a little lighter, to put it mildly.
I was talking to dad actually at work, and I was like, honestly, Fifth Element, like I'm not going to write like a philosophy paper on it, but I'm going to have a really good time watching it over and over again.
Yeah, Ren, what's your pick? Mr. I Need Death?
I don't even know where to begin. So I'll start with this. I remember seeing this movie in 1997, or maybe a little bit after. Shout out to Carter Davis. I remember eating Tostitos little like microwavable pizzas till like my tummy hurt as we watched this movie. I was excited that this movie came up when it got selected because I don't know about you guys, but like I want to watch some of these movies with my family. I really like getting their reaction from it. It's second place or maybe first to like going to the movie theater. Like when you get that like you're all feeling it or you're all like confused or you're all excited. I love that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I can kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. We can watch this movie. So we turned it on. I had to kind of convince them because they just hadn't really seen it or knew anything about it. And I was like, it's like Star Wars. You'll love it. Didn't do too hard of a sales push on it or whatever. But we started watching the movie, and it was kind of fun for me because it was kind of bringing up some old memories. Like I love seeing. I think every week of my life since I saw this movie, I've thought about that microwave that just creates food. I was like, one day that's literally going to exist. I don't know when, but maybe in like 2007, in like 10 years from now, this will exist. But anyways, I just had this memory. I got to be honest, my family did not like this movie.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah,
That's
and I
a
was
harsh
kind of
one.
like, dude, when Howard the Duck, the aliens kind of start waddling out of the spaceship, and it was just so different, and I was feeling like judgmental about like I just feel like we've been really spoiled with like practical effects, and then the special effects in this movie were it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I have stuff to say about that.
Yeah, and just I'll land the plane on this, but about an hour went into the movie, and then something came up. I think it could have been dinner or something. So we paused the movie, we go down, and then I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna go back up. I got to finish that movie, The Fifth Element." And everyone looked at me and they were like, "Nah, I'm good." And everyone stayed downstairs, and I came upstairs to watch it.
It's so good.
So I'm watching it alone, and I'm like, "Dude, there's another hour." I'm like, "This is a tough watch." And I don't know why, but there was that scene where Bruce Willis's character tries to hide Leeloo in the elevator shower. That scene, the scene where she drops down and they have that intimate scene, and you just get this like human element out of what's her name? What's the actress?
Mila.
Mila. For some reason, the movie just clicked. And I just realized I was like, this is like a comic book. This is like a space opera. And I was like playing the first hour of the movie back in my head, and it like made so much sense. And then I started freaking loving this movie. But it took me an hour to get into it, and the rest of the hour by myself was incredible. And I don't know if I've ever had a movie like halfway just like blow my mind, but I had to understand that it was like this different type of film because I don't love the aesthetics of it. A lot of the characters annoy the hell out of me, to be honest. But then, yeah, I don't know why. Just like my heart opened. I stopped being so cynical.
I never had my heart open to the film. That's so good.
And it made, dude, by the time the movie was over, I was like clapping. I was so happy. It was great.
And Ren's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
No, it's funny. I didn't understand the like opera of it, like the grandiose, like the extreme, the highs and the lows. And like when I was a kid, I thought Chris Tucker's character was so annoying. I couldn't even stand it.
Right on.
Yeah. And then like I was like, oh, it's hilarious because it's like sarcastic and it's like a glimpse into this comic book future of what we might think it would be, and like honestly, not that far off. Like Chris Tucker is Lil Nas X. Like he's like all these pop stars, and he's super. Anyways, I don't want to do a character deep dive on him. I'm blabbering enough, but like I
He's
was
the
just
best
really,
character.
yeah, I know, and
I
it
mean
just
it.
finally made sense to me, and I kind of mad. I think I just carried a bit of baggage from when I was younger, but it took me a while to be like, dude, this is Star Wars mixed with meatloaf. It might be double meaning. Meatloaf is a music artist. Do you guys know?
Yeah, well, that's
Okay.
literally who that's literally
Okay,
what
okay,
I was
cool.
referencing.
All right, not the food item. Yeah. Just so you know.
That's so good. Oh my
No,
god.
I was definitely the food item. And I was like, I'm not even gonna try to unpack that one. It's just hilarious.
Ren, I feel like you have a lot of trauma when it comes to movies. Like, it's really interesting. Like, this is like the
Yeah.
third or fourth time you brought up the fact you're like, yeah, I watched this. I didn't get it. I feel like I had some trauma when I was a kid, and I just hate this movie now. Like you did that with Young Frankenstein, with Clue, and now Fifth Element. It's just really funny to me. I wonder, I want to talk to your therapist after you talk to them about it.
This movie turned it around though, but I just had to like digest the format. But yeah, that's my rant. That was my most recent experience with this film, and thank you for putting it on your list. I'm glad it got selected.
Yeah, honestly, that was a really beautiful moment. I'm not gonna lie to you, Ren. That was really cool because it's true. Like there, one thing that I was kind of impressed by was a lot of time when I watch like romance movies or like there's a couple in there. Sometimes I don't really believe them. I'm like, okay, it's two actors and an actor and actress like going at it. I guess they love each other. And for some reason, when Bruce Willis and the gal who plays Leeloo, they had that moment. I was like, oh, they actually like each other. This is nice. Like,
Yeah, I was just picking this film apart. Like, I was like, why is he like divulging all of his like desires to this person named Finger on the phone? Does that ever explain? It's kind of okay. It's like
I think it might be his boss, maybe.
okay.
Maybe. Not important. Not
It
important.
sounded like
Yeah.
it was just some mechanic that he was bringing the car to that he really knows, but it's funny, like, there's his mom and then there's Finger, there's these 2 characters that we never see ever, he's just
Yeah.
on the phone with them, and yet they feel like really funny characters, like, that's one thing that's interesting about this film is I feel like so throughout the movie, there's a lot of different factions going after the Stones, going after Leeloo, and then there's these people on the phone that we don't actually ever meet, but we get to hear them talking through it and we figure out these characters. I feel like all of these characters, including Zorg, including the like orc like bad guys, I feel like we don't learn a ton about them, but they make me want to learn more about them. Like when I see them, especially Zorg, especially, it's like I feel like there's a whole other story we could be there's a whole other movie that we could be watching all about this guy, and I want to know more about him. I think that's a cool, and I think that brings up what you were talking about, Ren, about it feeling kind of like a comic book, like a space opera comic book. That's what comic books do all the time. Is they present characters that make you want to learn more, and then they give you more. And unfortunately, we didn't get more of Fifth Element. I would watch another Fifth Element movie, easy.
So it's really interesting that you bring up the comic book. So first off, I didn't actually watch this and go, oh yeah, that feels like a comic book adaptation, but it's interesting you say it because now through that lens, 100%, like this feels like not like literally a comic. It's like the way a comic flows, the way a comic presents information.
If you storyboarded this and just put it into a comic book,
It would be
work.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in contrast to like we've got such great fidelity, perfect comic book adaptations now, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like that is literally a comic book on screen.
Yeah.
Like they do a really good job with that, and it feels like you're going from panel to panel. This just feels like like even just watching right now, the color palette and stuff is great. I think that's a great segue into like why does this movie look like this? Why does it feel like Luc Besson, who is the director?
Besson.
Besson, the French dude. The French dude that made this is heavily inspired by French comics. All right. There's 2 really, really popular French comic book artists. I cannot pronounce the guy that helped do this movie. It's like Menezier or something like that. And then there's Mobius. Mobius and Menezier are these like funky future, like lived in, weird, highly colorful, bizarre costumes, weird hats, like chunky aliens, stuff like that. Extremely influential on sci-fi portrayals today. But us being in the US, we're not super familiar with these French guys. I was for the past like 2 years, I was working at this game studio, and we were working on a game that will most likely never come out. We were heavily inspired by those French artists, so I did kind of a deep dive into these guys' works. This movie, Luc Besson here,
Besson.
another movie he made later in 2017 is Valerian. And Valerian, is a movie. It's an adaptation of comic books made by Menezier. The comic book started in 1969, was so extremely influential to people that were working in sci-fi at the time. And the reason is what you were saying, Harrison. It's this lived-in future. It's not like, let's go discover something, or the previous 50s sci-fi where it's like, the Flash Gordon, or the Day the Earth Stood Still, where everything's clean and perfect or whatever from the aliens. It's like, what's some future where we've got the same corporate setup and stuff, and it's just everyone's living in cheap stuff and dirt everywhere or whatever, and
Not a tree in sight.
Yeah, no trees and stuff. It's like, take that logical conclusion. It's pretty obvious that Star Wars was heavily influenced by the Valerian comics as well. Like the Millennium Falcon almost looks exactly like a ship from the Valerian comics and stuff. So this weird, funky, colorful, weird suits, stuff like that are all part of this guy Menezier's art style. And so when Luc Besson came on, he was like, he wanted that look, and so he hired Menezier to come in and do the concepting for this film. So it's 100% like this carry-on, a very literal carry-on of this tradition of that lived-in future. Like Ridley Scott was inspired by it, George Lucas was inspired by it, and all the artists on his team for the Star Wars trilogy, the original Star Wars trilogy, and stuff like that. the funky weirdness that this movie has, I just have so much respect for it because it's so different and it's not in our American culture. It's very French, and we just have tangential inspiration from this French.
Have you seen Leon, the Professional?
I haven't. I know that's another Luc Besson movie.
Yeah.
I haven't watched.
I kind of forgot that he did both these movies, and then seeing them both, those are the only two films of his that I have seen, but it makes total sense now. It kind of goes back to me like when I figured out the format to this movie. If I would have remembered that, I think I would have got it quicker. Maybe enjoyed like first, half a little bit better than I did.
No, cool little thing. This movie, he was actually been worked on The Fifth Element for years and years, refining the script and trying to get it, get funded and everything. And actually, Leon the Professional was kind of his like, okay, fine, I'll make this great movie to help me get clout and to like get a little more oomph and make more connections so that I can actually make The Fifth Element, which is really cool because I haven't seen Leon the Professional, but I've heard it referenced tons of times. I've seen many clips from it, and a lot of people love it. And I hope we actually cover it one time because I do want to watch it.
This is such a quoted movie for me. I quote this movie all the time.
I have a funny story about that.
I'm like, it's at least once a month. I'm like, please help.
What was it? The ones that I always say are Ruby, Ruby. Like I always
Right
looking
on,
for it.
right on.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay,
He's the
here's
best.
mine. So in my past former life, I was a door-to-door salesman, and there's a city just outside of Beaverton, probably like 20, 30 minutes away, called Cornelius. And I don't know why until I rewatched this movie, but I would always say Cornelius like whenever we'd go out there to work, and I didn't know where it came from. So I rediscovered that.
It's a great movie. And honestly, a lot of like the way Ruby says bravo, bravo, bravo. I've done that one a couple times. What did you think about Ruby, especially at the moment that he comes into the film? Because honestly, one thing that kind of shocked me, I actually paused the movie at almost exactly 1 hour through the movie, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're not even at Floss in Paradise,
Yeah.
and Ruby hasn't even shown up yet." Like, there's a lot of my memories from the movie come from the last like 35 minutes of the film. Like, it's not really in the front of it. When Ruby shows up, are you just like, who is this guy? Or like to me, I was like, this guy is hilarious, and I absolutely love him. I thought he was
Yeah, enjoyed him a lot more this time around, for sure. It's funny, I was watching some behind the scenes stuff, and they're interviewing Chris Tucker, and he's like he just seems really uncomfortable, and he's like nothing like his character in the movie. And I think he's a little bit more sure of himself. I've seen some interviews with him, and he's a really cool guy. But it's funny how well he plays his character in this movie. And it's like I know the director just asked him to just be so extreme, because to just go in there and be like, "Hey, I'm going to turn it up," without being told that is pretty ballsy. I kind of doubt that, but the way he played it was perfect. And what he's saying to me is not funny. It's like the story and the reasoning behind why he's doing that. The caricature of this pop star.
I love the fact that the president of the Federations is sitting there. His intel is listening to Ruby's show.
Yeah.
Like when all this is going down, it's like, oh, we'll just and the fact that he just like live streams the entire fight sequence to his entire audience.
That's aged well. Yeah.
It's like, what is this? Like, who came up with this? It's hilarious.
Yeah. Ahead of its time.
I could totally see like nowadays zombie apocalypse happens. There's people that are going to be streaming like, all right, I'm going to go out and kill like 100 zombies today. Let's do this. The GoPro strapped to their head. And that's what Ruby was doing. So fun little fact about Ruby. The character was originally presented to Prince to play the part. They presented it to Prince, showed him the costumes, talked about the character, and Prince basically said, I don't know. He's a little too feminine. I just don't think it's I don't think I want to do it. I was just like,
it's pretty
what?
hilarious coming from Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what I
And
was
then
thinking.
just to think of where Prince would have brought it, and then where Chris Tucker took it.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I found a nice little list of like actors that were offered the roles beforehand. I wanted to go through it with you guys.
Yeah, who else?
So like Mel Gibson was going to be Korben Dallas. That was the first person they offered the role
Okay.
to.
They have the same mouth.
That's so
They
that's so
do. They have
true.
the same smile.
That's pretty funny. Julia Roberts was offered the role for Leeloo, which jeez, that I think that would have been just absolutely terrible. Oh, for Ruby, they also thought about giving it to Jamie Foxx as well, but they were basically like, I don't know, he's just too cool and way too buff at the moment. I don't think he could pull it off very well.
I'm looking up what movie Julia Roberts did in 1997 in place of this. Let's just see what we got.
Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, you might be right. Okay, My Best Friend's Wedding and Conspiracy Theory
Oh yeah.
with Mel Gibson. I feel like I saw that when it came out, but I don't know if that was a good call. I'm not saying they should have cast them, but it's interesting that you turned that down. But My Best Friend's Wedding is like iconic for
Yeah.
a lot
yeah.
of people.
100%.
Yeah.
So one thing that this movie does that I have seen other films do. So there's the opera scene, right, where there's the diva singing on stage, and it's all beautiful and stuff, and it's like this edit back and forth between there's the beautiful thing that's happening with the opera and this fight sequence with Leeloo back and forth. And so this cross cutting is it's like this is my limited knowledge on editing that I learned from a film class in high school forever ago. So cross cutting is just cutting back and forth between multiple scenes to compress time, stuff like that. I vaguely remember, the academic things that they told us about it, but it's one of those things that now as I've grown up, I just see different shots and edits and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's the thing I learned about once. But this movie takes that to an extreme. Like I've seen those kind of action sequence cross-cut kind of montages a lot, but this movie uses them like 3 or 4 times in it. And it's like, because there's so many different character arcs that need to be portrayed all at the same time. You got the priest, you've got Zorg and his people, you've got the weird orc aliens, the Mangalores. Yeah, Mangalores, I remembered.
There you go.
You got Korben and you've got Leeloo, like 5 different arcs that all need to be shown all at the same time. Oh, and the president. And so they're all being shown while things are going on. And so like when the ship was launching off from Earth to go up to the Floston space like ship, they went back and forth between all these people, and it was almost like Austin Powersy, like one thing would happen and then it was like, where are the stones? And then it would cut to Leeloo, laughing about something totally different. Like all these different people back and forth, and it was almost like visual gags.
Yeah.
Like leading through each other, and all of them were telling their own story, but they were like blending into each other. And I was like, who was the editor on this movie? This is incredible.
Yeah.
Like just the way that they were able to keep the fast pace, portray so many different character arcs all at the same time. You never really got lost in them. None of them felt like they had too much weight, like it's a lightweight movie. But just the fact that they were able to do that. So I did a quick look up. I don't remember her name. Sylvia or something like that was the editor on this film. And she won an award for this film. And she also worked on
Sylvia Landra.
She also worked on an earlier movie with Luc Besson from what I don't remember which movie it was. I'm just really impressed with her editing style. And I think that there are 3 things that I think really make this movie land. The first is the relationship and chemistry between Mila Jovovich and Bruce Willis. Like they do a really good job. There's the entire setting, which I already talked about, the comic book inspiration, the French comic book look. And then the editing. And I think the editing is kind of the unsung hero here, just how much it adds to the energy of everything and how freaking fast it feels. And you can just pack in all these weird things and make it feel bigger, that space opera feel, without really needing to have expose. It just is what it is.
Yeah, the other scene that in terms of the editing, doing that kind of cross-section editing, the one that really kind of hit me and made me laugh was yeah, so like the president arrives and they're talking like, oh, okay, like this race of aliens, they're gonna come and they have the stones, they're gonna save us from this big giant, alien thing. It's gonna kill everything. And then it cuts to them like shooting down the ship. It lands. It cuts back to the president. They're like, yeah, everyone on the ship is dead. And the priest just sits down. And he's like, oh my gosh, my whole belief system is just gone. Like it all just blew up in my face. And it was insane how fast that all happened because you're like, wait, this should be like a really big deal. It's like, no, like there's like 4 cuts and it's like, yeah, the people they're dead. This guy's whole religion, everything he believes in is gone. And kind of like what you said, Scott, this movie's pretty fast. Like there's a lot of things happen in very small sections of the film. I feel like he really I feel like he really knew what he wanted to flesh out and show a lot of. And there's other things you're just like, we can bypass this pretty quickly. Like we don't need to spend 20 minutes of these guys getting shot down and everything going to shit. We don't need to do that. Let's focus in on the characters. Let's focus in on this. That also leads to another thought I had. So it's kind of weird to think about it, but like the big bad guy of this film is that giant, magma planet that's going to kill everything, and you don't really care about it. Like they don't really tell you anything about it. You don't know who it is. You don't know what the motivation is, and I think the director was just like, it doesn't really matter what this big planet wants and what the motivation is. Let's just focus in on our main cast and get their stories figured out. And sure, there's a big giant planet coming to kill us, but it's just not important.
So I think this is probably as deep as this movie can go. So the idea of a fifth element, it goes back to Aristotle, and he called it the quintessence. And it really is like there's the 4 main elements that are grounded here on Earth, and then there's this fifth abstract element that it was like some spiritual entity that obviously the world follows, but we haven't really defined yet. So Aristotle, famously was on a bent to try and decode and talk about what that fifth element was, that fifth essence, the quintessence, right? In this movie, I think Bassan just decided that was going to be love. Love is the thing that pulls everything together. The J.K. Rowling approach to life. Like what matters most is human connection, love, and that's what saves all. And I kind of love that. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that Mila Jovovich is so freaking adorable in this movie to portray that.
My favorite part that she does is when they're trying to get on the ship to go on the vacation place, and she's like doing this half smile. She's just trying to like fit in, and I love that part.
I think they did a pretty good job of her kind of growing throughout the film,
Yeah.
going from, going from a woman who is just like casually 3D printed, by the way, just really just like, yeah, by the way, we can just build her body up right now and then bombard her with like, solar energy so she grows skin. Like I thought that was kind of crazy. But going from just being so confused and everything, and then, she does the classic like tropey, I'm going to download everything from the internet. And then she learns, how to speak. And then she's like, oh my gosh, humans suck and they all need to die because war sucks. Like, I don't know, like the arc of her character and where she ends up is really, I thought they did a really good job of it.
I love how you just brought up the fifth element as love. And that's pretty obvious now that I replay kind of the ending and everything. But that is really cool. If this movie would have ended any other way, I think it would have been really lame.
That the freeze frame was the cherry on top, by the way.
Yeah.
And then like the rock song is they're like making love in the tube.
Yeah.
It's like
I loved it's just kind of funny how last week's episode we did Alien and we got some Ian Holmes as the bad
Yes.
guy, as the evil android, Ash. And what is this movie, like 30 years later? He does he's like one of my favorite parts of the movie. I don't know why. He doesn't do anything out, but
Yeah,
he doesn't really stand out.
Does he do anything in the movie?
Not really.
Not really.
He's kind of the hesitant, reluctant, I don't know, just he feels called to like do what he believes God has told him to do, and he follows through with it. But yeah, I like that element of it. I also wanted to shout out, or I just have a huge question about Gary Oldman's performance and how he landed on that Southern accent. I
That
didn't
was
love it. I didn't love it. It was kind of making me cringe the first time, and I'm okay with it now. Like I said, I've healed, and my heart has grown 3 times the size. But I'm just curious because I was watching some behind the scenes stuff of him as well, and like he's talked about his sobriety, and like you could tell when he was filming this, like he was not sober. He was going through it. I think this might have been like the thick of it, but he's really he's an amazing actor. Have either of you seen True Romance?
No.
Okay.
I have
I
not.
know we've talked about that, Harrison, but yeah, you need to watch that. His performance in
Yeah.
that is incredible. And actually, it strengthens this performance because this just seems kind of weird. But when you pair that with that, you're like, oh, Gary Oldman.
No, unfortunately, I've heard him talk about The Fifth Element and how he was like, that was a horrible film to film. I did not
Oh,
enjoy it.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Apparently, he really did not enjoy making this movie, which always bums me out because Fifth Element is probably in my top 10, like one of my favorite movies ever. And it's like I just want everyone to have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
I feel similar about the Super Mario Brothers movie. By the way, horrible filming process, and I still like it, and it's still a bad movie.
Oh, so that would be an example on that list, right? Like it's so okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. One scene I really did like with Zorg in it was when he's on the phone, which is really weird to think about that the planet called Zorg, but he gets on the phone
Yes.
with Mr. Shadow. I guess that's what the planet's name is.
And the planet's like, "Are you busy?"
I know it's so like, wait,
I have to interrupt you. I'm sorry. You can do your thing in a second. Zorg is spying on the president with a live cockroach with a miniature satellite on the top of it. Oh my gosh! And then
it's like
and
it's like
then
the
it
most
gets
low tech thing in this whole film.
He's like surprised that he got noticed.
it's
I
like
know.
in the middle of the table, and then the president smashes the
Oh,
cockroach, and he's like,
yeah. The headphones like spurred out of his head. Yeah, just like that. Oh my gosh. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. I like that he's on the phone with his planet, and then I just the terror on his face, and then the blood starts trickling out of somewhere out of his head, just drips down his face. I remember watching that and being like, that's kind of a terrifying, like, I don't know, just like the thought of talking to someone that's that terrifying that you start bleeding out of your head for no reason. That was pretty intense.
"Okay, so this scene that we're looking at right now. So Corbin has had a crappy day. He's in his apartment, and he's talking to this guy, a street vendor who flies in this little ship. And he's named
Yeah.
Ty, buying Thai food from him, right? And so they're just talking. I love this scene for the script and for the editing. There's so much subversion in this. So it starts out, and he's like, "My day sucks." The guy's like, "Oh, it's not that bad." He's like, "No, it all started out. My wife left me. I got fired and stuff like that." And he's like, "Oh, third time's a charm. It's gonna be good." Right then, he gets a piece of mail, and it's a scene right at the scene right before this was the president goes, "Hey, we need to bring in the crack commando team to take on and solve this problem. I know just the guys." Then it cuts to Corbin. Very classic editing. You relate two scenes together that are unrelated. You're like, oh, clearly Corbin, the main character, is going to be the guy, right? So, third time's the charm. Check your mail. It's probably going to be something good. He opens it up. You're fired. I was like, yes, it's so good. It's like such a subversive moment right there. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm like, oh, well, maybe you need to answer that phone call. That's probably it. And it's his mom yelling at him. Corbin, you never. I need to go on that trip. What trip are you even talking about? And then she's like, "You can't tell me you don't know about the trip." And like Corbin's the last to know about this trip that he won because of how weird the world is, right? They can't just put him on the ship. He has to win a contest to get on the ship from the president. Like, so dumb. Perfect. But it's like multiple tries before he learns that he's even been like hired to do this job. And just the multiple layers, like perfect script writing, perfect editing to make this scene interesting that could have just been like, Corbin, we got you. And he's like, okay. Like they made it funny. It's great.
This actor, Brian
Oh,
James.
that guy.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where the hell I'd seen him. So I
Oh
looked him
man.
up on Letterbox, and he's the freaking bad guy in Blade Runner. and I couldn't remember that. Do you remember that? He's the bad guy in Blade Runner, and he's like the
much
evil
older.
robot. Yeah, much older. But yeah, that I was pretty surprised to realize that. And then I also wanted to point out another familiar face. Did you guys recognize Lee Evans?
Lee Evans. That sounds so familiar.
So when the opera singer comes in, she's walking in the hall. She's got the veiled like gown
Mouse
on.
Hunt. Mouse Hunt, is that what it is?
Lee
Yes.
Evans. So Lee Evans stars in Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane, and I love seeing. He's like He's like the perfect, like really nervous guy under like stressful situations. He's always like moving his hands and talking funny, but he's exactly the same character in this movie that he is in Mouse Hunt. I love seeing that.
Mouse Hunt's another good, Jensen like lore
Oh,
movie. I feel like.
another secretly a Christmas movie.
Oh, there you go. That's true. Actually, I didn't know that one.
Oh, here's another very quoted line. I am a meat popsicle.
Yes.
Smoke you!
Smoke you!
I think my earliest fear was claustrophobia, and I remember this part where he shoves all three of these people somehow into that freezer,
Into that tiny fridge.
dude. That
just really casually murdered 3 people.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, you got the part," and I would like see that in the script. In like the script, I'd be like, "I'm out. I can't do this."
I also think it's funny the colonel's response. He's like, "No, we want to help you. There's nowhere to go." You know,
Yeah.
it's like, "No, stop. We can't all fit in here." Like, he's like totally willing to do this thing.
He's like, "I'm down. Let's just find a better solution here because I don't want to freeze and die in this thing."
Oh my god.
No, we can't all fit in this.
Also, he like at the end of the scene, he opens the freezer and then he shuts it again. Like they all died in his house. Like there's no way they got out of that.
Spoiler
just
alert,
realized-
they're all alive later.
Yeah, how?
Oh, I was just wondering that. I was like, wait, does he show up later? That's a good question, actually. I don't know if he shows up later.
So Ren, you were talking about the sets. I have one more thing that I gotta call out. The practical effects in this movie are stupid on purpose. I think they
get it now. I get it now. I was
Like,
being so judgmental.
every single like reticle that pops up in front of a gun or something like that. It's just like a piece of plastic with like a person drawn in the middle of it. Like line up the person with this thing. Like like you can't think. It's not a HUD. That's not heads up display. That's just like a piece of plastic with a dude drawn on it or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's just so cheap.
Do you remember when you were a kid and like, I don't know about you guys, but I can remember like when you get that realization that movies are fake and you're kind of like let down. And I remember going through this like cynical era of watching movies where I'm just like, I would just say that all the time, like, dude, that's so fake, or that's so fake. Like, I know how they did that. Like, I know the magic trick. I just had this funny memory of doing that to this movie. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was done on purpose. I just assumed like, well, I have the eye for it.
Yeah, you're so smart, Ren. You just know
Pretty
everything.
obvious, guys. Am I the only one who sees this? Come on, man.
Out of my pillars of what makes a really good movie, I think this movie does great characters that I really love, and I think it was made very much on purpose. I feel like all of this was in his head, and he's like, this is what it's going to be. This is what I want. Yes, I want the reticles on the guns to look terrible. That's what I want. Like, it's not a budget reason. It's a choice. I felt like this whole movie was a choice.
What the giant lights on the front of the police's uniform? They're non-functional. It's just like it's a bright dot on their chest.
Yeah,
right.
Everything looks like a costume.
I have two. I just have 2 more notes I wanted to bring up. One, the most realistic thing in this film is that McDonald's is still around. I don't think that will ever die. It just won't.
I took a note on that. I just want to let's talk about McDonald's for a second. I'm really surprised that they authorized their use in this movie. Like their customers are disgusting. It shows that. It shows the food. It looks gross. One of the front counter ladies is like hitting on their customer. And then they like blast off and then they crash into this logo. And I was just like, that's so interesting. Like if you're a brand, like I don't know why they did that.
I'm really I know nothing of how that world works and how it does that, but I almost feel like they went to McDonald's like, hey, like, we need funding, whatever. And
Yeah.
I swear, like McDonald's sometimes they're just like, you know what, go for it. Here's your money, and they just don't like go through the process of figuring out what they're gonna do. Like, I don't know, like I don't know how that works, but yeah, I think they definitely should have watched this and been like, I don't know, I don't know if we're gonna let you put our logo in the movie. Yeah. Also, speaking more about like childhood memories of this one and trauma, I remember watching that opera scene, which side note, fun fact, the opera lady in that, it's actually the director's wife. I thought that was kind of a fun little fact. Um, I distinctly remember watching that scene and being just mesmerized by the performance and just by a big giant blue lady in a latex costume, which was pretty cool. But I remember there's a part in there where she's like waving her arms around and you can see there's a hole in her armpit
Yeah, I
for
remember
like
that.
her arms to fit through.
So fake.
I'm Oh, no. See, I remember watching that and being like, "Oh my gosh, like there's a hole in her armpit. Like I could put my arm in her armpit." Like it was this weird, like there's just a hole in her body. Like what's like why? Like it really like messed with my head when I was a kid.
How old are you in 97? 5?
97, I was 5. I was 5 years old.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
So that song I think is an incredible blend of this movie, by the way. Also, it was really fun to just hear like some straight up Euro techno as part of this movie. Like, there's not a lot of love that actual movies have gotten with just straight up just house or whatever. You know, there's a couple of scenes in here that are great. That song, I just, it's one of those songs that I was like, wow, that's so cool, and the like the vocoding and like stuff that they did with her voice for to like all over the place, right?
The original T-Pain.
Yeah. But yeah, fun little fact. So my wife and I taught a dance team for a while, and we picked different songs to choreograph to. And this song in particular is one that she and I both like and have tried to come up with choreography more than once, and even started writing some stuff down one time, but it just has never come to be. But man, I'd still love to do it sometime, to have that dance team do that.
Before you get to the end of the movie, Ren, the outfits of these airline stewardesses
Yes.
they're so wild.
Risque.
I was gonna say also this alien that like is disguised, you know, it's one of the Mangalores that's transformed to look like a human, is wearing a black thong with a see-through plastic green traffic cone miniskirt. Like, like who came up with these costumes?
Yeah.
No. If I remember correctly, one guy designed all these costumes. Like this was a huge project for him. Like each outfit was like what, like $5,000 a piece or something, from what I remember. And like it's definitely a vibe. It's definitely a vibe.
Hold on. I didn't recognize this. This is an homage to The Shining.
Oh
I
god.
didn't catch that. So this is the right? That has to be. Okay. The bartender, the robot bartender is a reference to The Shining. That's awesome. All right. Half a star more rating. Yeah, just when the opera kicks in, Leeloo's doing the fighting. Just everything is coming together. The ending is just so dramatic and incredible. And then they're all celebrating, popping champagne, and then it turns again. I was like, okay, they're just like flexing right now. Like Luc Besson is just like toying with us. And just the way that they all kind of wrapped it all up, I thought it was like masterclass. I just loved the ending of this movie.
Man, you know, I would love to, like, I almost don't want to do it, but because it's one of those, once you see it, you can't unsee it. But the Save the Cat script writing structure is so ubiquitous, right? Like this finale, it's even like watching this, every movie I watch to see how they're going to follow the Save the Cat structure.
Yeah.
And they all do. And some work and some don't. So it's not like it's a panacea or anything, but it's a lens that you can just see how they're thinking about pacing through the movie, right? And so, like, a perfect example, like what you talked about right there, is pretty much every script has a finale with halfway through the finale is a plot twist. In this particular case, it's like the first half of the finale is they solve the problem, but they do it the wrong way. and then you have to solve the problem the right way. Okay?
Yeah.
And the right way is always tied to the theme of the movie, which is love in this particular movie. So they solve it the wrong way by blowing up the ship, killing Zorg, getting the stones, getting out of the ship, and stuff like that. But then it's like, oh, by the way, the big bad guy is still there. So then you have to solve it the right way somehow with the theme of love in this particular movie. Hence the going down to the planet and him telling her that he loves her, and she going, what?
There was two more parts too that like gave me a just when like a movie just like has you captured. There was two parts that I can't explain why I loved them so much, but first I forget. Yeah, the ending is hazy because I was just like floating, but like when he opens up the matches and he has that one match left because he's been trying to quit smoking, and I think at some point he like puts the match down, but however it gets to it, that point where he has one match left and it just like saves the world. That part was incredible.
Now that part with the match, one thing I love finding moments in movies where if you took that scene and gave it to somebody else, it would have been cheesy as hell. Like
Yeah.
even if you write it down on paper, it's like he pulls up the last stick in his matchbook, lights it, and puts it on there. Like you give that to some random director who doesn't know what they're
Yeah.
doing, it's gonna be crap. It's not gonna be good, and you're gonna roll your eyes and you're gonna cringe at it. But they did it in this movie. That right there, moments like that make me go, oh, this is a guy who knows what he's doing. This is a good director. It is a great moment. I agree.
Like I watch movies like in reverse as I watch them sometimes because maybe that's not the right way to explain it, but the foreshadowing in the movie that builds up to David, the like secondary to Ian Holmes' character, that just like ultra dork, like nervous kid who he's just like, oh, like he like everything scares him and he's jumpy. He freaking saves the day in the end, and I like cheered. I like clapped. I just loved that. And then that's so funny where he has like an outburst. He like has like a really awkward like outburst, and then he starts like dancing, and then it just cuts away from him. I was like, I love that.
It's almost like a similar parallel to Detroit Rock City, where the stoner dude saves the day. It's like
the most
the
unlikely
absolute
person,
unsung underdog does the one right thing, and it's just so good. And like we care.
Absolutely,
we care more because
Scott, I just want to point out the fact that you made a reference back to Detroit Rock City. I think that movie is way better than you ever thought it was going to be.
I don't want to even go that far, man.
Just that particular scene.
I will, to clarify, I will re-say the thing I said then, is I think that movie is totally stupid, but as a coming of age story for the people that it was made for, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
True.
It's a narrow list that it would be close to the top two. Yeah.
It is a high quality coming of age story for someone unlike me.
Pretty much, man.
Awesome. Well, you're intelligent. You can see things from other people's perspectives. That's great.
Wow.
There you go.
Thanks for making my head bigger.
Well, guys, just to wrap this episode up, this movie still remains one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. Like it's like I said, it was really interesting. Just this last stretch of movies with our space theme, going from Prometheus to Europa Report to Alien, and then ending with Fifth Element. It was such a huge contrast, and yet I still was like, this movie still slaps. It's still amazing, and it feels so on purpose, and I absolutely love it. It's a 5 out of 5 for me, and I'm gonna watch it again. There's no way I'm not going to. This is one of those movies that when I talk to Dad and talk about movies like Fifth Element, it's probably gonna get brought up, and we always go, "Oh, it's so good," like just we get really hyped up when we talk about that movie. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I was kind of dreading the recording of this show in the first hour of watching this movie because I was like, dude, I'm not like, I don't want to be a hater. Like, I don't, and I'm not going to lie. And I just don't like this movie. And like, I was dreading watching it. I was gonna like give it like a 2, but you know, in the end, I want to give it like a 4.5. But like this movie is freaking awesome, and I just gotta say, having this film in the last of the 4 films for this category that we picked is like literally perfect. Like the ending of this film just bookends it all, and I know that's not really a criteria that anyone else has interest in, but like I just love that it all kind of lined up the way that it did. But yeah, 4 out of 5 for me, and this was a trip for me for sure.
Sorry, no, honestly, I think you're right. I think I'm okay. Just imagine the pattern of watching Prometheus. Let's say we watched Europa Report, then we watched Fifth Element, and then we watched Alien. Like, I feel like I
Yeah,
don't know, the flow would like the flow would be very off. So I think the position of everything that the way we did it was spot on.
This movie, hands down, still in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I think I'm starting to narrow in on like what makes a movie good for me too. Like at the beginning of this podcast, several episodes ago, 10, 11, 12, whatever episode we're on now, I was like, do I keep thinking about it? And that's, I think, a good surface level thing because I think about this movie all the time, right? I think about it all the time.
yeah.
But some movies I think about because they're really deep and they really change me. Some movies disgust me and they change me. Some movies are just funny, like Clue, and I think about it and quote it all the time. But I think about it all the time. I think more accurately is that's true, but I think I respect a movie more if it was made on purpose. If they made all of the hundreds and hundreds of people and years that go into making one piece of art, if it's on purpose at the end, it feels either cohesive or it's an extreme opposite. Like it's an absolute abysmal failure at being cohesive. Like I'm more interested in that from like a systems, I don't know, like high level view than anything. Like They Live goes really high up because that's just John Carpenter's brain on silicon, right? Or not silicon, on cellulose, you know? Um, but I'm probably saying the wrong words entirely.
I was like, wait, what are you
Celluloid.
I was like, what are you shooting for? I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So They Live is just John Carpenter's brain on screen. Like perfect. This movie, I think, is Lupason, like perfect.
Mhm.
And I think Prometheus is a train wreck.
It is. It truly is. Great film. Glad we got it. Let's transition to the real event of the episode.
The big moment here.
Did you just dad pun that? Like we're gonna pick from the reel?
No, but only a dad would catch on that. Awesome.
My emperor, I failed you.
All right, so we're at the part of the show where we've each compiled our cinema slime 5 lists, and the category that we landed on is small town. And Harrison, why don't you read off your list? Why don't you go first?
Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, small town is it's really just a vibe that was kind of the theme I was thinking of. It's like just the vibe of everybody knows everybody. The sets are small. You know where you are all the time. It's not these big grandiose things. And so yeah, let's just go through the ones I picked up. The first one I immediately picked, and actually kind of the movie, like this was the movie why I wanted to do small town, is Fried Green Tomatoes. And this is the most like mom movie ever, at least for me.
I was gonna say, hey, Mom, will listen to that one.
Yeah, no,
She will.
like this is
excited.
one where I feel like I feel like my mom watched this movie all the time. But yeah, no, Fried Green Tomatoes is a movie I remember watching all the time as a kid, and I really want to watch it again. I haven't watched it in a long time, and I think it's still gonna hold up and be really great.
Secret cannibal films. That's a list it could go on. Secret cannibalism. Yeah.
The next one I picked out was October Sky. I think I've watched this movie one time. I've heard a lot of great things about it, and from what I remember, it was very inspirational. And I believe it's based off of a true story. And yeah, I just heard really good things about it, so I thought I'd throw it on there. Next one I have is Devil All the Time. This was kind of the movie that everyone was like, Tom Holland can't act. He's only in Spider-Man. And then this movie came out. Everyone's like, oh, like he's actually got chops. And just another movie I've heard good things about. Super 8 has a nice little like, kind of that classic like kids filming a monster movie, and then it ends up there's actually a monster. So I remember the thing is I remember watching that movie a long time ago, and I remember being like, okay, and I kind of just moved on with it. But a lot of people tell me that it's really good, so I'm excited for that one. And then the last one I picked is Wind River, and it's got a couple actors and actresses that are in the MCU movies right now. Just really good memories of it. Like it's kind of the when I think of a small town movie, I either think about like like a close niche of friends, kind of like a Sandlot type of vibe. There's also like monsters in small towns. That's another one I think of, and then small town murder mystery, and that's kind of what Wind River is. It's that small town mystery. Everybody knows everybody, so who killed this person, kind of a thing. I think I got a nice little variety in here, and I'm excited to see which one pops up.
When you put Small Town up, I had one movie in mind. I wanted to watch A Quiet Place.
Mhm.
I love this movie. All right. So, Quiet Place is probably in the top 3 or 4 favorite movies of all time, right? And it was the time that, everyone's watched The Office, loves John Krasinski, and everybody thinks Emily Blunt's hot. And you're like, wow, that's a cool couple. So then they made this movie together, and it's got all the things in it that matter to me. It's got family, it's got rural vibes, it's got everything. It's great. So
Aliens.
yeah. The next one is totally different. It's Bubba Hotep. And if you know nothing about it, continue to know nothing about it, because it's the best premise for a movie ever. And it's totally a B movie and great. Right. I just love it.
I hope we get that.
It's in the same category as like Tremors. Like you'll love it. Not like Tremors, but the same category of like that kind of like this movie's real, by the way.
This movie
Um,
actually was filmed.
Speaking of which, Tremors is also on the list.
Good.
Tremors is hilarious.
Yes.
Some incredible Kevin Bacon action. Little girl from Jurassic Park, all that kind of stuff. It's in there. It's good.
Reba McEntire. Come on.
Yeah. Then we got Sleepy Hollow, made by Tim Burton, the live action one. I like that one mostly for the same reasons I kind of like The Fifth Element. Like it is what it is,
Yeah.
and it's exactly what it's supposed to be. And it's a good balance between like slightly creepy, really good high production Tim Burton sets, and I don't know, it's got good vibes.
Is it black and white and red?
Yes,
Yeah.
black and white and red movie.
Okay.
And the last one on the list is my newest favorite that I try to get everyone to watch is Hunt for the Wilder People. And there's no way to describe it. You just got to see it and enjoy it.
So for my list, I got Twin Peaks. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've only seen a few. I've only seen a few David Lynch films. In fact, it might be the only one I have seen is Blue Velvet. So I'm looking forward to watching that. If it gets picked, I'm still gonna watch it, but put that on the list. 2, No Country for Old Men. I've been meaning to rewatch this. I've had it brought up in conversation with like 5 different people in the past 6 months. I think it's just time, and I would love to discuss it with Scott and Harrison too. But I've
Oh,
talked about it with
sure.
Scott.
Yeah.
Just like, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I've never seen it.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Just tack me on
3
there. Okay.
No, I'm just saying we talked a little bit about it. Yeah, okay, a little glimpse, because we might not get picked. I didn't love it, but everyone loves it. So I'm like, okay, this is like The Fifth Element. I got to rewatch it, and yeah. So my heart's a lot bigger now. I'm sure I'll love it. So. 3, Truman Show. I don't need to say much about it. It's just I rewatched it maybe a year ago. Incredible. Like like after you're done watching it, you're just like, it's probably one of my favorite films ever. That's just how I feel when I watch it. My 4th film is Paris, Texas. I've never seen it, and I've just heard good things. And 5 is Cinema Paradiso. It'll be our first foreign film if it gets selected. And I remember watching it in film school, and it like tore me apart that I can't remember what happens. So it'll kind of be like a first viewing for me if it gets picked. So it's a highly regarded cinema loving film. So I think it's appropriate.
All right, Harrison, you tell me what the next month of my life is going to feel like.
Let's find out. Okay.
My
All right.
fate.
All right, here we go. So we're gonna be doing. We'll just do in the order we discussed it. So I'll do my list, then Scott, and then Ren. And then for the fourth pick, we're going to change up a few things. All right, here we go. On my list, here we go. Out of the 5 we got, we're going to go Devil All the Time. This has got Tom Holland in it, and actually a really solid cast list. I'm excited for this one. This is kind of the one I was like secretly really hoping to watch because I've never seen it before, but it seems really heavy and really like, oh, I'm ready for an emotional roller coaster. So, by the way, any listeners, I am holding up to the screen, so I'm not manipulating anything. All right, for Scott, we got Tremors.
Honestly, my least favorite out of all of these, but it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be
really
a
fun.
freaking romp.
All right, Ren, let's get yours, right?
All right, we're up.
Paris, Texas is what you ended up with.
Sweet.
I'm kind of
I'm-
excited about that one for the same reason. Like, I know nothing about it.
Yep.
Just like say nothing if you know anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to.
No, honestly,
I want to find this one.
okay, so we're gonna do our fourth pick. Now, usually what we did was we would randomly select from all the movies that haven't been picked for, but I thought it'd be a little more fun and to kind of take out the random element. And I kind of want us to kind of hash out a movie that was on the list and we really want to watch it. Like, and maybe we can do a little bit of voting. You know, each of us can get 2 votes. Pick 2 movies that you're like, I actually really did want to watch that with you guys. And then we can kind of hash out and figure out what we want to watch. I would say just kind of get in your head, like maybe pick 2 movies out of the movies that didn't get picked that you want to actually watch.
Are we doing rules like one from your list and one from someone else's, or can they not be from your list, or just
No, let's do one from your own list and one from someone else's list.
Okay.
I think that's
I like that.
I think that's a good method to go.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let me get mine in my head real quick.
Okay, I got mine ready. So I want to put 1 vote in for Cinema Paradiso, 1 vote for Bubba Hotep.
I'm gonna go with I think fried green tomatoes is one that I definitely want to put it from my list. That's one that it kind of started the whole thing, and I feel like that's one that I really want to do. In terms of my other one, what was it? It was actually Bubba Hotep. That was the other one that I was like, you know what, that sounds pretty dang fun. I think it's gonna be an interesting one.
So to be clear, Bubba Hotep is going to have a higher likelihood because it's on the list more than once. Correct?
No, it's only on my list.
No, I mean because we're going to vote for 2.
Okay.
So Bubba Hotep's on there 2 times, and we're going to select from those 6.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
What about you, Scott?
Okay.
Was there any of the movies that didn't get picked that you're like, I really wanted to watch those? Is there 2 you can pick out?
No Country for Old Men, I know nothing about, but it's a title that I've heard a million times. I kind of wanted to see that for that reason.
Wait, am I confusing you with someone else? I thought you had seen it. It's a Coen film.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I've never watched it.
Perfect.
And I do like Coen movies. Like, they're the right kind of weird for me. And I would say either A Quiet Place or Bubba Hotep, and I kind of want to gravity well into Bubba Hotep.
Well, honestly, so we can either randomly select or all 3 of us pick Bubba Hotep. Do we just want to do Bubba Hotep?
I like the randomness. Yeah. I like the randomness. I mean, there's no wrong choice. My vote is to do the randomizer, but I don't.
We are going to do this show until we die.
Yeah, so
That's true.
We've got a lot of time to watch movies.
Well, true. Here, let's try this method out. So I re-put in all of our choices. Bubba Hotep is on there 3 times.
yeah.
And then we have No Country for Old Men, and then we had fried green tomatoes, and then we have Cinema Paradiso. Okay. I guess we can
get
put
a
that
sponsorship with like DraftKings, and every time we do this, just put an ad in there.
That would be funny. Okay,
Brought to
I
you
got
by
all
nothing.
I got all those choices in there, including the 3 Bubba Hoteps, right? Bubba Hotep.
Bubba
It's gonna
Hotep.
be our,
All right.
There we
that's
go.
gonna be our
All right.
4th pick.
Case closed.
Sounds
Case
good.
closed.
I'm excited, guys.
This
Cool,
is outrageous. I want to recount.
A recount. What the heck? This is crazy. Okay, so just as a quick reminder, we're going to be watching Devil All the Time from my list. Then we're going to be watching Tremors from Scott, then we're going to be watching Paris, Texas from Ren, and then we'll watch Bubba Hotep as our fourth movie.
Fucking awesome.
This is going to be wild.
This is a whiplash.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm
Yeah,
really excited.
This feels this feels like quite a whiplash because let's face it, like Europa Report was probably the most like quote unquote vague movie, not vague, but less popular movie that we watched in the last section. And I feel like pretty much every movie, like Tremors, I think is Tremors the most well-known one out of those.
Yeah, it's the only one I've seen on the list, which is exactly what I'm looking for.
Who'd have thought Tremors would be the most like well-known movie that we'd be watching in a month?
And Scott Shepard. This episode was mixed, edited, and produced by Harrison with design and art by Ren. There's more slime coming your way, so don't forget to subscribe, share, and drop a comment. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms with links in the episode notes, and on Patreon, we will have exclusive content and merch. Until next time, go watch a movie.
Another idea, maybe we could like rank like Oregon films. There's like so many I haven't seen, but anyways, just blabbering right now.
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit was Oregon? Oh, I didn't know that.
Ninja Turtles 3.
Okay, the ones I know of.
Twilight.
I do know Twilight. Fun fact, I've actually been to one of this a spot where they actually filmed part of it. I felt the aura.
We went there. We went there
Edward
when we were in
being
St. Helens. Yeah.
Yeah, I've probably watched Twilight like 30 times. And I have
cut this out. Edit this out, please. No, you live in Oregon. You get a pass. No, we went and saw that house 4th of July. We went to St. Helens. And we drove by and Allie got like all like middle school girl. It was hilarious. And she like jumped out of the car, took a picture, and then she was like, no, don't drive up to the house. You're not supposed to walk up. I've watched on Instagram. They like are really against it. We pull up to the road and there's like 30 people walking up to the house, taking pictures and selfies in front of it. I was like, this is your crowd. Go.
It's a short-term rental at this point.
Yeah.
It's not an Airbnb, but it's like their own run short-term rental.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so back to Oregon movies. We're Goonies is like the most obvious one. Hunt for the Wilder People.
Definitely not in Oregon.
It's not?
No.
Oh, I thought maybe Bridget lied to me. She was trying to sell me on it.
That's an extremely New Zealand movie.
Wait, am I thinking of the right movie? The movie on your list, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cut that out.
without a paddle. I think that one was filmed in Oregon.
Never saw it.
Thumbsuckers.
Okay, I knew that in the back of my mind. I think that's it. I remember being really young and like realizing that like Oregon wasn't like Hollywood.
Bandits.